meeting of the Blue Springs Planning Commission to order. If I could get everyone to please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and welcome everyone this evening, and welcome to those watching us from home. And I'd just like to note we have all of our commissioners present this evening, so it's nice to see all our seats filled for a change. So welcome everybody. I will run through our agenda for this evening. We'll have the consent agenda, a public hearing for a conditional use permit on contractor storage, a site plan. Whoops, my microphone's not on. I'm sorry. I'll start that over. We have the consent agenda, public hearing for a conditional use permit for contractor storage. Item 3 is a site plan design review for contractor storage. Item 4 is a preliminary plat for Swope Addition. Item 5 is a final plat for Swope Addition. Item 6 is a master alternative sign plan for St. Luke's Multi-Specialty Clinic. Item 7 is other business, and item 8 is adjournment. So with that, I would entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
So moved.
I have a motion. How about a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The public hearing for the conditional use permit for contractor storage, we will hear the items that are related to that as well, items 3, 4, and 5, but we will consider those separately. So with that, I'm going to open the public hearing for the conditional use permit, CUP-03-17-5716, and ask our city attorney for exhibits.
Mr. Chairman, the city offers the following exhibits into the record. Exhibit 1, the staff report with attachments. Exhibit 2, affidavit of publication in the Examiner on March 11, 2017. Exhibit 3, application with attachments. Exhibit 4, the 185 feet notification map. Exhibit 5, names and addresses of property owners within 185 feet of the site. Exhibit 6, copy of the letter sent to said property owners. Exhibit 7, Title 4, Land Use Section, Blue Springs Code of Ordinances by reference. And Exhibit 8, 2014 Comprehensive Plan by reference.
All right, thank you very much. And Mr. Wright is going to make the staff presentation for us this evening.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Graham and Commissioners. Before you this evening are 4 requests related to the contractor storage, which is proposed at 902 Southwest South Avenue. Contractor storage is a proposed 7-bay storage building on approximately 0.55 acres. The first request is for a conditional use permit to allow a warehouse residential storage use and small commercial building type in the T5 Urban Center zoning district. The T5 zoning district is the only downtown zoning district that permits a warehouse storage use with a conditional use permit, and it's also the only downtown zoning district that allows a small commercial building type in the downtown zoning district, which typically encourages 2 or more story mixed use buildings. The second request is for a site plan design review for a 5,600 square foot storage building. Which will be located again at 902 Southwest South Avenue. This does include a seven storage bays, each with their own 12-foot overhead doors and their separate pedestrian entrances. The development has met all the requirements under the Downtown Development Code and the UDC, including meeting the minimum and maximum setbacks for the front and side yards, landscaping, street trees, and building materials. The building will include a mix of brick veneer, fiber cement siding, and metal paneling on the rear elevation. That mix does meet the minimum 75% masonry requirement for facade coverage in the Downtown Development Code. The third request is for a preliminary plat for Swope Addition. This includes not only 902 Southwest South Avenue, but also the existing residential warehouse storage facility at 808 and 806 Southwest South Avenue. The total plat includes 2 lots on approximately 1.7 acres. And then the fourth request is the final plat, which would be just for the west lot there, which will be Lot 1. And this would be the lot that would include the proposed storage facility. A 5-foot sidewalk is required to be installed along Southwest South Avenue. Financial guarantee has been provided to allow that to go to City Council next week for approval. There are no other public improvements required. A detention easement has been provided on the south side of the lot for a detention area that will be installed simultaneously with the storage building. Street trees and landscaping will also be installed prior to issuance of a certificate of occupancy for the storage building. And the Downtown Review Board did recommend approval of both the conditional use permit and the site plan design review. Staff recommends approval of the conditional use permit with 4 conditions, approval of the site plan design review with 7 conditions, the preliminary plat with 4 conditions, and approval of the final plat with 4 conditions. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Wright? All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Swope, would you like to make a presentation or say anything?
I'm worn out.
All right. Did any of the commissioners have any questions for Mr. Swope? All right. Comments, questions on the record?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Peel?
on the 185 feet notification letters, were there any returned?
Yes, sir, there was one letter.
Also, were there any letters of opposition
No.
received? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak in favor of this motion, petition, I mean? All right, seeing none, anybody that would like to speak in opposition? Okay. Any further discussion on the record of the commissioners? All right, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. And I would entertain a motion if someone would like to make one. Go ahead.
Mr.
Commissioner
Chair,
Banks.
I make a motion to approve the conditional use permit, CUP-03-17-5716, the contractor storage with the 4 staff conditions.
I have a motion. How about a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks. This will be a roll call vote.
Planning Commissioner Cradoff.
Aye.
Commissioner Wallace.
Aye.
Commissioner Sanders.
Aye.
Commissioner Haney.
Aye.
Commissioner Banks.
Aye.
Commissioner Fairbanks.
Aye.
Commissioner Peel.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartolotta.
Aye.
Commissioner Duhan.
Aye.
Commissioner Billups.
Aye.
Chairman Graham.
Aye. Motion passes. Brings us to item 3, I'm sorry, the site plan design review.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Banks.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the design review, the SPDR-03-17-5717 contractor storage with the 7 staff conditions.
I have a motion. How about a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Duhan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Brings us to item 4, preliminary plat.
Well, we're on a roll.
Okay, let's do it, Commissioner Banks.
Okay. I'd like to approve the preliminary plat PP-03-17-5718 Swope Edition First Plat with the 4 staff conditions.
I have a motion. How about a second?
I second it.
I have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries as well. Brings us to item 5, which will be the final plat for Swope Edition First Plat.
Might as well finish it up.
All right.
Final plat PF-03-17-5719 Swope Edition First Plat with the 4 staff conditions. I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to recommend approval from Commissioner Banks, and I have a second from Commissioner Haney. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries as well, and we will send that recommendation to the City Council for their April 3rd meeting, which is at 6 o'clock. Next item on the agenda is item 6, Master Alternative Sign Plan for St. Luke's Multi-Specialty Clinic, and Mr. Jurey is going to make that presentation for us.
Thank you, Chairman and Graham and Planning Commissioners. Before you today is a request from the applicant, St. Luke's Multi-Specialty Clinic, to approve their alternative sign plan. This proposal encompasses 9.4 acres and is located at the southeast corner of Northeast Artie Mize Road and Northeast Adams Dairy Parkway. The property is zoned SO ADPO, which is Service Office Adams Dairy Parkway Overlay, and is currently under development to be utilized as medical services. The sign proposal includes, as you can see up here, one monument sign in the northwest corner of the site, which is at the corner of Adams Dairy and Artie Mize. There's also one wall sign on the north facade, one wall sign on the south facade, two drop-off only freestanding directional sign or informational signs, I guess, near the front entrance on the south side of the building, as well as two directional signs at both of the entrances, one along Artie Mize Road and one along Adams Dairy Parkway. I'll scroll through some of the proposed plans to give a better idea of what sign proposals there, or what sign they are proposing. This is the monument sign located in the northwest corner of the site. Here's a setback showing where it is located specifically. They're proposing a 14-foot setback from the property line, which does meet code in location and size for the area proposed for the sign. Picture of the wall signage along the south side of the building, as well as the wall sign on the north side of the building. The only issues where this proposal does not meet the sign code is in terms of the directional signs, which are along both road right-of-ways. They're proposing the informational directional signs to be 18.7 square feet and 6 feet in height, which is larger than the 3 square foot and 3 foot tall sign requirements that are allowed by the sign code for informational signs. Furthermore, the proposed setback for the directional signs is a little unclear in the proposal. Staff did talk to the applicant to help them determine what their desire is, though. Staff does believe, however, that this proposal and the land use and the large acreage of the site is unique and warrants the need for larger directional signage as they are requesting. As for the setback, staff does propose a condition requiring a 1 foot, let's see if I can pull that up, a 1 foot setback for the directional signage along the entrance off of Artie Mize Road. As you can see in this site map, there's the property line in the dashed, and there's the one directional sign right there that they're proposing. And then as well as on Adams Dairy Parkway, there's the property line there and a directional sign just a few feet to the east of that property line along Adams Dairy Parkway. So staff does recommend along Adams Dairy Parkway a 10-foot setback since it is rather close to the road as the property lines lie. As for the directional sign on the Artie Mize side, staff does recommend a 1 foot setback since there is quite a distance between the road access drive throat and where the property line lies. There is a sidewalk even in between those two locations, between the curb and where the private property begins. So staff does believe that a 1 foot setback would meet all site triangle requirements and would be the most beneficial to the clients that are coming and needing to figure out quickly where they need to go in terms of reaching the hospital. In addition, staff does always propose the condition that landscaping must be installed at the base of the freestanding monument sign, but we do also add that the same will be required for both directional signs located near the right-of-way. With that, staff does recommend approval with 3 conditions, and I will stand to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Jurey? All right. Would the applicant like to come forward and make a presentation? If you could state your name and address for us, please.
Okay. Jeremy Bechtold with St. Luke's Health System. Address is 903 104th Street.
Could you spell your last name for us, please?
Bechtold.
Thank you.
And we have discussed with staff the conditions. We're in agreement with those, and if there's any questions, I'm here to answer those. One thing I did want to point out, the building signage is shown blue on the renderings, but our plan is to have that white with some blue on the logo to match our branding throughout the city. But it was shown on the plan in blue so that you could actually see where the sign was going to go.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Bechtold?
Mr. Chairman?
Commissioner Peel?
Mr. Bechtold, when St. Luke's expands in the next phases, will they put additional signage there, or request additional signage, or will that be located in different locations?
It depends on how we expand. I think when we look at the expansion plan for the building, it was to kind of expand back towards our demise. So with that, I would propose that it probably means moving the sign that's on that side of the building to the new face of the building on that side of the road. As we expand, if we expand other places on that site to the east, we might look at, is there other signage needed there as well? But for now, we don't have any proposed plans for that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Mr. Bechtold? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I would entertain a
Mr.
motion.
Chairman?
Commissioner Peel?
I move that ASP 03175720 be approved with the 3 conditions as aligned by the staff.
Okay, I have a motion. How about a second? I have a second from Commissioner Sanders. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Brings us to item 7, other business. And Mr. Holley, I believe you had something under other business?
Yeah, just wanted to mention that we did, as promised by Scott Allen, provide the write-up for the 2017 New Partners for Smart Growth summaries with links to their webpage if you would like to go look at some of the presentations and anything that it might have to offer. But make particular note of page 3, and that was the top item there, planning and regulating housing options for a change of demographics, was the presentation that Scott and I and our consultants from Gould and Evans provided at this particular conference. So again, happy to answer any questions if you have any, but the Smart Growth Conference, this was the second year that I've been, and it always proves to be a really, really good planning-related conference. So we'll see if in the future we might want to see if anybody's interested in that kind of a conference. It's really good.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Holley? All right. Any other business?
Well, the only other thing is just to remind you that on the Monday, April 10th Planning Commission meeting, we do have, right now it looks like 5 items. We have looks like mostly plats. We have a preliminary plat, a final plat. We do have a plan development final plan for Colonial Highlands, which you may remember is out off of Wyatt Road at Adamsbury Parkway. And then we have a final plat for Colonial Highlands.
What was
So,
that?
pardon?
What's the last one?
The last one is a final plat for Colonial Highlands.
No public hearings as of yet?
No.
That's good. You might not scare everybody off. I might get a full...
Yeah.
A full morning
Yeah,
again.
exactly. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other business? Going once? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned.